Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett here in the King 5 newsroom. It is Thursday night. I just want to make you aware that we will be going into first alert mode on Friday as fall makes its presence known across the Pacific Northwest. You'll really notice it starting tomorrow afternoon, especially in some of our northern counties and along the coast as a frontal boundary moves in. That's going to gust up some winds. Now, originally it was looking like 30, maybe 40 miles an hour max, but the latest model guidance we received say that we could see some winds 50, possibly in excess of 50 miles an hour, especially towards Clallam County, Island County, and up towards Whatcom County as well. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment here. In fact, let's get right into it right now. Here's what your first alert forecast looks like. First of all, we are going to be tracking some temperatures that are going to be a bit on the cooler side. And again, we will be in first alert on Friday as those winds really start to pick up. What you'll notice this weekend is it warms up, but don't be fooled by that. We're actually going to be tapping into an atmospheric river that's going to bring some substantial rain, especially along the coast. Now, there will be some rain shadowing in some spots. So here's how it plays out. The first round of first alert weather will be from Friday afternoon through Sunday night. We're looking at the potential for some gusty winds, and especially up in some of those northern counties, and then that steady and heavy rain for mostly everybody on Sunday, but in particular the Olympic Peninsula, the North Interior, and the North and Central Cascades. So let's unpack Friday, shall we? First of all, temperatures will be about a good 5-6 degrees below average, and we've got a myriad of watches and warnings in place here. Wind advisory along the coast. Now remember, it's just an advisory, not a wind warning, but that could be upgraded as we go through the day tomorrow. Clallam and Jefferson, and even though Port Angeles isn't in there, I do think you'll see some winds that'll get up to about 40 miles an hour in Friday afternoon. I'll show you that in a moment. Wind advisory also extends over to Island, Skagit, Snohomish, and Whatcom counties, and that'll be in place until Saturday at 5 a.m. And Bellingham in particular, I've seen some guidance that says that you could get some winds in excess of 50 miles an hour, especially on Friday evening. Small craft advisory for all of Puget Sound. Take a look at that. Do not take any beginning sailing lessons, especially on Friday. That's going to be in place until Saturday at 2 a.m. and it looks like those winds will be gusty all the way across the sound. Then on top of that, that pink color that you see is a gale warning. That's going to be in place until 2 a.m. as well. So along the immediate coast, part of the Strait of Juan de Fuca, and look at that off towards Island County as well. That's where you're going to see those gale force winds, again in excess of 40 and possibly even 50 miles an hour. And if you aren't fully convinced that autumn is here, well, we've got a freeze warning in effect off towards Kittitas, Umatilla, Walla Walla, and Yakima County. That'll be in place until Friday at 9 a.m. as temperatures will be dipping below the freezing mark. So let's put the winds into motion here, and as I'm always saying, don't really pay attention to the numbers as much as the colors. So you see that graph up at the top that shows you when those winds will be in excess of 40. That's that color purple. So you notice right around 1:30 on Friday afternoon, already seeing that pick up along the Strait of Juan de Fuca, definitely along the coast, and then towards Island County. Fast forwarding to about 5:30, look at that. Port Townsend, Friday Harbor. Again, gusts could get above 40, and look at that. Bellingham, you're in on that as well. Off towards Mount Vernon, it gusts up to about 30. Meanwhile, Bremerton, you'll be breezy. You won't be particularly gusty, but down towards Olympia, you could see some gusty winds there as well. Right around 7:30 at night, very gusty, especially from Port Townsend northward up towards Friday Harbor. Quileute, again, gusting over 40 there as well. And now Olympia and Puyallup starting to see some of those gusts over 25, 30 miles an hour. Look at this. Late Friday night, it gets really gusty along the coast. Again, ignore the number. Look at the colors. Look at all of that purple mixed in there. Again, you don't want to be anywhere near the water. Waves are going to be big and crashing, and even along island counties there, and look off towards the Strait of Juan de Fuca, it just stays constantly windy. Saturday morning, 7:30. No real change. In fact, Port Angeles looks like it's going to be really gusty. And then right around Saturday afternoon, as that frontal boundary starts to move through, you'll see those winds kind of peak. You can even see when the front passes through. Right around 7 p.m. on Saturday is when things will kind of come to their crescendo and then start to back off a little bit. Are we finished? No. Take a look at Sunday. New system moves in, and this is the one that's got all the rain with it. So it gets really gusty along the coast again, especially off towards Quileute. You'll notice that Island County still seeing a lot of purple there, but you're seeing some 20s in Tacoma, Seattle, Everett. There could be the possibility of some trees coming down, possibility of some spotty power outages as well, because that wind is going to be fairly constant throughout the entire weekend. Again, nothing that looks like it's going to be huge like a regular regular wind storm with the 60 or 70-mile-an-hour winds, but it's the consistency mixed in with the rain that has the potential to be a problem there. 7-day forecast also shows Sunday being a very wet day. So this, my friends, is an atmospheric river. We've tracked them in the past, and it looks like we could be looking at our first substantial one as we go into Sunday, and then it looks like by the time we get into Monday, we'll finally catch a break there. Putting Futurecast into motion, here's what it looks like hour by hour. Friday at 5 p.m., you start to see that rain pretty much across the southwest interior. Vancouver Island gets pummeled. The possibility of 10 inches of rain there throughout the weekend. 11 p.m. Friday, you're starting to see some of that heavier rain up towards Whatcom and Skagit County. Bellingham looks like it's going to be a soaker there near the border. Port Angeles, you'll see that rain kind of come and go in intensity. Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m., again, heavy rain along the Olympic Peninsula. Some forecast models saying 6, possibly 8 inches in Neah Bay. And look at that, some heavy rain up in the Cascades, especially Skagit, Whatcom, and to a lesser extent, Snohomish County. This is 8:30 on Saturday. We catch a little bit of a break. You notice that there's going to be some rain shadowing in Seattle, Olympia, Tacoma. So a lot of folks will be going, storm? What storm? Well, on Sunday, this new system moves in. This is right around 1 p.m. Again, heavy rain just pelts the Olympic Peninsula. More rain up towards Whatcom County. Vancouver Island's going to be a super soaker once again. And then finally, that frontal boundary will move through on Sunday. This is right around 5 p.m. when things will finally start to calm down and clear out. But a lot of that rain will be heavy over top of the Cascades. So as far as rain potential goes, what you notice again is rain shadowing will be pretty prominent, especially like in Seattle, where we're looking anywhere from about maybe 3/4 of an inch to about 1.5 inches in some spots. But the northern Cascades, about 2 to 4 inches there. We're not expecting any river flooding, but it's not out of the question, and there will be a lot of pooling and ponding along the roads there. So if you do have any travel plans, especially along the northern portion of I-5, you're going to want to be very careful. And look at the Olympic Peninsula. Yeah, 3 to 6 is what most model guidance is saying, but again, I have seen some models saying that Neah Bay could pick up 8 inches of rain between now and Sunday night. So there you have it in a nutshell. Again, if there's any doubt whatsoever that autumn is here, you're definitely going to notice it this weekend. Stay warm, stay dry, stay safe, and keep it tuned to King 5 and First Alert Weather, and we'll keep you ahead of the storms.